People with no money, they visit temples asking for money. People who have already, what do they ask for?
Some people ask for more. Some come to me because they just love me.
In 1990, what happened?
Where have they gone? They have gone nowhere. Time heals, yes, it's true. But time doesn't make you forget. When महान चरण पढ़ेंगे आपके घर में तो वो महानता आपके घर में आभास होगी आपको.
Your grandmother, respected grandmother, used to teach you philosophy.
And she used to feed me, force feed me. You have to eat, you have to grow big.
Mind is very powerful. You can be tricked for a few seconds.
Draupadi. She kept crying, kept shouting, and she said, Govinda, Govinda. I had this tremendous desire to study the philosophy, the scripture, the spirituality.
Why?
It was just in me.
Nature is selecting people to go through.
Everybody comes with their karma. What is reality, the dream or the waking state?
If you could give one spiritual practice to the youth of India, what would it be?
Every day do
And what is meditation?
We have not reached to that level.
The end of the life is how much better.
That life itself is temporary.
Flying economy, tomorrow business, then I'm flying first, then I must have my own.
Private jet.
So why I think differently? Hello everyone and welcome to the PVT Show podcast. Well, today we sit down with a man who is known as much as for his individuality as he is known for the legacy he belongs to. Born into one of India's most iconic business families, he chose to walk his own path with remarkable courage and individuality, authenticity and personal conviction. Through his life's profound moments and defining incidences, he turned inwards, exploring yoga, meditation, and the spiritual path. He is none other than Mr. Yash Birla. What stands out about him is his fearless ability to remain unapologetically himself in thoughts, lifestyle, and spiritual wisdom. A rarest of rare blend of discipline, faith, and individuality. Today, let's dive deep into the cosmic world of spirituality with Yashji.
Hi, this is Yash Birla. You're watching me on the PVT Show podcast.
Yashji, welcome to the PVT Show podcast.
Namaste and thank you for having me here. It's my pleasure to be with you. I love conversing with people who are intelligent, spiritual, and have got a lot to ask. So I have a lot to say.
Huge gratitude to you for inviting us to your beautiful home.
Thank you.
I visited your temple and it was a beautiful experience for me to be even thinking that now I want to decode spirituality with you. After being born in an illustrious family like this, iconic families of the country, help me understand one thing. People with no money, they visit temples asking for money. People who have abundance already bestowed by the divine, when they reach God, what do they ask for?
Some people ask for more. That's fine. I'll tell you.
That's fine.
There are, in Bhagavadgita, Krishna said that anybody who comes to me, there are many types of people who come to me. One of them are people who come to me for material bliss, material progression. One come to me for curiosity. One come to me because they want to elevate themselves spiritually. And some come to me because they just love me. Right? These are all dearest to me, he says, Arjuna. All of them are dear to me because they're coming to me. Krishna is basically symbolism of the universal spirit.
Correct.
He's Krishna, Lord Krishna, but he also symbolizes the world, the universal spirit, that one energy which is everywhere. So he says, but the dearest to me, O Arjuna, is who come for me to love me, to adore me, right? So when we go to temples, of course, everybody has things in their life. You may ask for wishes, you may ask for boons, you may ask for some problems to be sorted out. That's fine. Don't judge yourself that I'm going selfishly to a temple, but also go with love, because God has given you so much to love Him. And also go with a state of surrender. Surrender is that I may wish A, B, C, but
Yeah.
maybe in the long run that A, B, C may not be good for me, even if I get it. So why don't you decide what is good for me from your point of view? And to that wish of yours, I surrender. I love you for it.
How does one decide things when the philosophy of surrender gets into your head? Say, for example, you're in a situation and the only thing that you want to do is you want to begin with surrender as a thought in your head. How does one be decisive?
So see, there's a very famous story for this. It's a story I often give. What is surrender? And it's not black and white. Surrender is also a little gray.
Yeah.
So we all know about the Mahabharata. We all know about the scene of Draupadi, the main starting point of the Mahabharata, when she was dishonored in a public forum. And that dishonorment was in the front of all the people we respected.
Correct.
Bhishma Pitama, greater than great. Vidura, more intelligent than the intelligent. Dronacharya. ABC, Dhritarashtra, with all whatever he's known for. They were all there. Her 5 glorious husbands, the great Pandavas. One a masterman at archery, one in truthfulness, one in strength and valor. They were all there, all 5 of them. She went to everybody. Help me, help me, help me. How can this happen to me in front of all you great people? But they all couldn't help her, bound by their own dharmas, whatever it was. None of them helped her. So she kept crying, kept shouting. In the end, she came and she said, no, nobody's helping me. I don't know what to do. I'm giving up, and to you, O Krishna, I surrender. And she said, Govinda, Govinda, right? And she just sat down, blankness in the mind. And there came that robe, the sari, from Lord Krishna. And her entire honor was protected, right? So that's the state of surrender. Surrender is not that you don't try, you try, sometimes you keep trying, or sometimes you get confused between what should you do, A or B or C. I'm talking normal life, not in Draupadi's case. So then, after getting confused and not coming to a decisiveness, there's a certain state you have to say, okay, I surrender. That divinity, please give me the inspiration to do the right thing. Somehow, if you do it with truthfulness and with faith, that answer will come. Now, to Draupadi, her robe came, her blessing came from Krishna. To us, it will be a divine insight, whether it will come as a feeling, whether it will come something when I wake up, first thing in the morning comes in front of my eyes, whether it will come from you while you're talking to me. I may have thought, let's say I'm talking something yesterday. I was in some, what we call duvidha, some kind of thing to choose from. And I said, oh my God, I can't understand what to do. I surrender to you. And today in your conversation, which is basically spiritual, you say something which says, oh, that's the answer to that duvidha, or that kind of question which I was not finding an answer to.
Clarity.
And I surrender to the divine, and the divine is speaking through you. The divine has mediums to speak through, right? It could be through you, it could be through them, it could be through my feeling or an intuition or something that happens to me in the morning. So that is true surrender, right? When you surrender that I am nothing in front of you, give me the ability to move forward, give me your grace.
How beautiful. I think this is the prayer for anyone and everyone. Wow. You think nature is selecting people to go through what you went through? Let me rephrase my question. These are, whenever I have spiritual conversations, even I feel like, why was I not very clear about what I wanted to ask? Because this subject is so...
No, I got what you're trying to say.
I think you mentioned somewhere that your grandmother, respected grandmother, used to teach you philosophy. You want to talk about it a little bit?
So my grandmother was very close to. See, in joint Hindu families, it was like a joint family. So the grandmother, she was a widow. Her husband passed away. So she was at home. Those days, they stayed at home mostly, the elderly women. So she had all the time to look after me with all her love and affection. And she used to feed me, force feed me. You have to eat, you have to grow big, you have to grow tall, you have to grow strong. And whatever I wanted, she was always there.
Yeah.
There was never a time I'm at home and my grandmother's not there. I used to sleep with her till I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. Me and my
Oh.
sister both used to sleep with her. So we had a chore every night before sleeping. She would read us stories. Right? She'd sit and read stories in Hindi. Hindi ki kahaniyan. She used to not talk in, she used to talk in English, but she used to never read in English. So in those Hindi stories, there were a lot of course, there were famous Indian tales like a Panchatantra or whatever, but there were also a lot of, I don't call it mythology, historical Indian stories.
Correct.
About, again, the Bhagavad Purana, about the Ramayana, about the Mahabharata, about so many things in our history. So, they always say when you sleep, the thoughts which you end with, they go into your psyche.
Subconscious.
And it goes till you wake up, they're somehow there.
Yeah.
So those stories, I sometimes fall asleep while she's reading, and then she'll see I'm asleep, and then she used to go to sleep herself, shut the light and go to sleep. So these were my last thoughts for years. There was never a day when we didn't, even if, let's say, my parents took me out for a late night movie till 9, sometimes we did on holidays. When I would come back, she would stay awake for me to read me the story. That was her dedication. That was her kind of love to us. So I grew up with these stories from my childhood. So I had a lot of, but those were stories. Again, there's a little bit difference between historical stories and there's a difference between philosophy and spirituality. Ultimately, they're all the same. It's the same like your beautiful mala you're wearing. It's beads of the same necklace, yeah? But they're still different. They're different beads. So what she got me inspired was through history and stories of our thousands of year old Indian culture, right? But there was, so I'll tie in your next part of the question which you already asked. So I believe that life is not, the beginning is not our birth and the death is not the end. Right? Before birth there was something else and after that there'll be something else. Again, fortified by scriptures. Scriptures, according to me, are not written. Maharishi Vedyas wrote the Bhagavad Gita, but I don't feel it is something which he got. He was anyway an avatar of the divine. So the divine speaks to us through the medium of these books, scriptures. It's the universal spirit which is speaking through us, through any of the holy books. Because we have Son of God, we have prophets, we have whatever. They are all a conduit to that eternal divinity. So it's written there that life after life, every knowledge we get at the end of your life, that goes, disappear. I'm learning physics, I'm learning chemistry, that's gone. I have to learn it again in the next life. The only knowledge which stays with you beyond lives is spiritual knowledge. So where I ended my last life, I will start there. Let's say I climbed 5 steps in spirituality.
You mean the knowledge?
The knowledge, the spiritual essence, the spiritual awakening. Let's say there are 10 steps to climb to salvation, and I've climbed 2 by my spiritual pursuits. Next life, I'll start on the 3rd. Some intrinsic thoughts in my conscience will be there because the conscience is what goes beyond lives, right? So I'll tell you why I'm coming to that practically. So at the age of 12 or 13, beyond these stories of my grandmother, I had this tremendous desire to study the philosophy, the scriptures, the spirituality.
Why?
It was just in me.
You were a young boy.
It was just in me. So I used to read the Upanishads when I was 13. I used to read the Bhagavad Gita. I used to read books written by foreign American authors of life after death, right? It was to some extent, you'll be surprised. So my mother used to take these, she was not, my grandmother was very religious. My mother was medium religious, medium spiritual, not like a staunch, religious person. But she had started these Bhagavad Gita classes, right? At home. Somebody used to come and teach a verse afterwards, my mother.
Okay.
So obviously those classes are for adults, not for teenagers or whatever. And adults in the sense, we probably can't understand what they're talking. So she never invited me to sit there, but I used to just come and sit over there with her. Because I had this desire. And a lot of times she said that, I mean, are you really interested in all this? You must be wanting to go out, do things. I said, no, I just like to hear all this. So I used to be patiently trying to get that knowledge from the age of 12, 13. of all what we call spirituality and philosophy. And this was not put into me.
Forced.
It was not inculcated. I won't even say it was encouraged, but it was a desire. So now I feel wherever I ended my last life, that desire came up. It must be there in childhood, and it manifested to me as reality at the age of 12, 13, whatever that age was, where I had this unknown desire for doing this, for studying, for knowing. And again, going on, because I remember the entire question, we think that we are judged, and we have to probably karmas are karmas. Of course, law of karma is the biggest law in the universe.
No, I want to understand that from you.
Okay, so I'll go back to it later.
Yeah.
So I believe that we kind of choose, however morbid it sounds, we choose our destiny. Everybody, I'm not saying collectively, we individually choose what we have to go through. And those things we have to go through in our life is somehow making us get over our limitations, our weaknesses, our kind of negativities, right? Let's look at it another way. What keeps us away from divinity? What keeps us away from perpetual bliss? Let's say we believe in Hinduism, Satchidananda or Shivoham, Shivoham. Means there's no difference between us and divinity.
Correct.
What keeps us away? It's the individuality. It's our individuality, ego, and our weaknesses and our attachments. That doesn't mean you run away from the world and stay somewhere else. It means you live in the world, do everything you're doing, but with an internal detachment, right? Whatever we are not able to do, detachment with joy and bliss, we ultimately, to become one with the divine, which is a journey, and that's, let's say, the destination, we have to unbind ourselves. We have to free ourselves from it. So whatever we could free ourselves as our limitations to be one with the divine, we choose instances in this life which gives us an opportunity to free us from it. Free us from those attachments.
Choice is ours, you're
Choice
saying.
is ours. Those instances will come in front of us. So let's say, in my last life, I was very attached to food. I used to eat all kinds of food, and I was like, oh my God, I had spoiled my health. Even the body is a gift from divine.
Correct.
After years and years, you get a human body. That's what we believe. By 84 lakh yonis. Yonis, that means different life forms. From different creatures and animals, you come to a human body. Because only in the human body you can think intellectually and attain liberation. So, since human body is gifted to us with a lot of our own effort and the blessing of the divine, we have to look after the human body. Now, if we keep eating all kinds of things, spoil our health, cut short our life, cause illnesses, then we are harming that gift from the divine. So in my last life, I used to eat all kinds of things. I used to eat mithais and tala and whatever. So then God gives me a situation in this life where I'm not saying food will be denied to me, but there will be an instance where I can pick up what is right. Maybe I'm brought up by somebody who's very health conscious from childhood. They say no fried, no sweets, no nothing, no this. And I say, oh my God, why am I denied what other children have? But it is, so I hate it. I find that very sad. I'm not given the luxuries that other children around me are given. But it is why? Because I need to get over this. I need to get out of this attachment because I'm not able to get out of it. So food is a very black and white thing.
I have a question here. So if you are stopped from having it, आपकी तृष्णा तो ऊपर ही जाएगी. I think, isn't it the other way around, that when it is too much of supply, then you are like, I'm done with it?
Could be. So Poonam, law of karma is not, it can never be expressed into words.
Yeah.
Whatever I say will always be very minuscule into the magnificence of the law of karma. How it plays is exactly what you just said. It could be like how I'm saying it, how you're saying it, overindulgence being an opportunity in front of you, or deprivation, which I have to accept and ultimately feel, oh, it was for my good. If my parents didn't bring me this up with this, let's say they had genetical disorders like diabetes and cholesterol, I would have got it.
Yeah.
But I've not got it, even though they had it, because of my parents or my grandmother or my mother. Not that this happened really. I'm just giving you a story. Because of their strictness.
Correct.
Otherwise, I would be deprived in my old age of health.
Yeah.
Right. So then when I grow up, I realize, oh my God, their views were correct, and my taste buds should not be attached to the object of the taste buds. It should be free, right? It could be this way, it could be that way, and this is a very earthly example. There's so many things in the law of karma where we ultimately, what do we learn from any of the instances we have in our life? We go through a lot of sadness, we go through a lot of trauma, and now God's grace, we shouldn't. But ultimately, instances sometimes, or the circumstances are beyond our control.
Correct.
Right? So there must be something in it for us to learn, something in it for us to evolve, something in it for us where we crumbled and fell, for us not to crumble and stand calmly, peacefully, and get over the situation.
Correct. Why is it that human consciousness is designed in a way? Now, if I were to just look at it like a machine, like inside the body, organs are
Yeah,
superb
of course.
machine.
No,
No
it's-
human has intelligence has been able to replicate.
Of
We are
course.
still at AI level,
Yeah.
artificial intelligence, but there's no machine to create a human being yet, and that is the power of the Supreme Lord. What I'm trying to understand here is that why is it that human beings are designed to be understanding or getting onto, embarking onto the path of spirituality, so to say, only when they are in difficult situations? Why in happy situations we go away from?
No. So I mean, I don't know. Again, it's relative. But I think every human being gets some instance to get onto spirituality. Some
Right.
indirect, direct. You have, of course, social media nowadays. You'll find all kinds of spiritual channels talking about it. It's our deed. That's our karma, or whatever, or the divine's grace for us to move towards Him. Right now, it's for us to take it or leave it. So the best example is, my karma makes me deserve getting a tray of food in front of me. The tray of food is placed in front of me, but I have to still take the food and eat it and chew it and put it down slowly so it digests properly and it doesn't get undigested, and it follows the normal law of digestion. That's my karma,
Correct.
right? On that karma will depend the future, whether I get enough nutrition, whether I eat the wrong food or the right food, how I chew it, how it's digested, how my health is after I digest, if I'm running around, I'm doing something after eating,
Correct.
all the works. So one is my destiny, the food has come in front of me. One is my karma, when I'm eating the food, right? The same thing is this. The spiritual opportunities or way to spiritual initiation comes to you. It's your karma, whether you take it or whether you say another day, right? So at times when you're happy also, it'll come to you. Yeah. It will come to you. It's your ability to recognize. You're very happy. Today you're going for a party. You're very happy. But I tell you, you know what? Before the party, why don't you come for this satsang? It'll make you feel it was holy yesterday, day before. And it'll make you feel one, because the divine blesses us more on certain. It's also scientifically proved that the astrological constellations,
Yes.
when there is Holi ka Raat and Diwali ka Raat or the Shivratri, whatever. So why don't you come? So you'll say, you know what, I want to get ready and all that. I'd rather go and have a blast. I don't have time today, another day. And that other day comes, God knows.
Next life.
Could be next
Could be.
week, next year, next life. We don't know.
Or
That's
100
up to-
lives.
So some people keep rejecting this, right? That's your karma. So you may say, now when you're sad, let's say, not you, I won't wish that on you, but anybody who I've asked them and they've, after 15 days, they're sad. Then they'll say, okay, next time I ask them, oh yeah, we are miserable, so let us go to the satsang, we'll feel better.
Exactly my question.
Yeah. So that is their choice. That is their choice, because they want to go at times when they need help, but doesn't matter. Let us not even judge that. As I said, in Krishna says that there's no, as long as you come to me in any state, it is
Fine.
You're still coming to me. So let's look at it a different way. That person wasn't coming to me when he was happy, to the divine, when he was happy. But when he's a little agitated, he'll come to me, and then he'll get more bliss than what he would get when that event is negated, which was giving him sadness.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So maybe that's God's gift. That little bit of sadness has come to you, after which you go to Him, and after that you say, oh my God, I never felt like this. Again, law of karma, theory of karma, taking an opportunity and viewing it how? That person maybe you know, oh, I'm sad, so that is why I have to go. And after I get okay, I've forgotten the grace of what I learned or what I felt. It's again karma. So you get all types of graces, opportunities in life. It's for us as humans to catch them, keep them, value them, cherish them, nourish them, or let it go.
Correct. I think you're making a very strong point here that everything is about self-awareness.
Exactly. Very right. So that's why we say man, buddhi, ahankar. One is the mind, which is constantly here and there.
Correct.
Then there's intellect, which tells you, oh, okay, I should not exactly follow my mind. Maybe this is more correct for me. Then there's ego. Ego will tell you, ego is the individuality. Ultimately, what segregates us from the divinity is individuality. I am different from you. So if two people come in and they praise me and they don't praise you and you feel bad about it, I don't care. I'm happy. Ultimately, I should feel as bad as you feel, even though they've praised me. That is ego. So man, buddhi, ahankar. When all these are dissolved, comes the bliss. Because that divinity is everywhere, everyone, every iota. If we have not recognized it, that's our limitation.
So these are impediments to we progressing towards.
Yeah.
I want this conversation to be like we start from first class and go to second class, third class, fourth class, standards, first standard, second standard.
Go ahead.
So I have a question which is for 12th standard. So I'm
Yeah,
just
go
parking
ahead,
it
go ahead.
aside
You
right
can go to
now.
PhD also.
Yeah. Yashi, it is very interesting to also learn from you what were the tools, like which was one practice after your life completely changed? Your life in 1990, what happened? Um, I would say you are God's child, maybe. So much for a soul to be getting prepared to endure, right? So I'm sure you're understanding what I'm trying to.
No, I'm not even trying to, I understand exactly what you're saying. But I know you're trying to
How did you
not,
interpret this incident as what? Okay, let us put it this way.
so, see,
Spiritually.
let's talk about a first standard answer.
Yeah.
Okay? First standard answer is that this incident, God forbid, it doesn't happen to anybody.
Yes.
I would hope it doesn't happen to anybody, because at any human level, it is the most catastrophic incident you can go through. I mean, the scars don't really vanish ever, to be honest. And they manifest in different ways in your life. And that's the way it is. It's just, it's something which you just never get over, to be honest. And the people who leave you, you never forget them. When they say time heals, yes, it's true. But time doesn't make you forget. You'll never forget. It's like just yesterday. So at the first level, it's that first standard. At the 12th standard, it is that everybody comes with their karma. Everybody comes with their destiny. Sometimes a young child passes away when he's 6 months old. Why did he come? He didn't do anything. There was something left for him to endure, or something for him to experience. We don't know what goes on in a child's conscious for him to find his next progression.
Correct.
Okay? Because all a progression, unless you're disastrous and you've really regressed.
Yeah.
You can regress also if you've done very wrong karma. So that progression has a time with this body. After this body, that progression, there's nothing else possible in this body, in those circumstances.
So you move.
So you move on, right? That is that. So everybody came with their own karmas. Last is me, what I go through. That at standard 1 is catastrophic, right? But what I go through, if I think from a 12 standard perspective, is that where have they gone? They've gone nowhere. It's just that I can't see them. It's the body. Body is made of panch dhatu, 5 elements, right? We are born. Where were we before that? How did this body get created? Of course, it's a process of creation.
Yes.
But it all comes from, okay, let's say the mother and father. They ate food, otherwise they would not be able to produce.
Correct.
So that food from the ground went into their systems. They are healthy, so they could uh, kind of develop an embryo into a baby and ultimately whatever. But ultimately, where is all this coming from? That food is coming from where? The
Nature.
mixture of the five elements.
Yeah.
They're just 5 elements. So the body is made of 5 elements from where it has come. And those 5 elements have gone back into the nature after you pass on. The body is gone. But what came and what went is beyond that body because something else came and something else is gone. So it is our limitation where we are identifying with the body, that this body is childhood. Okay, when you were a child, you felt so many things as a baby, or you were a toddler, you wanted a toy, and every time you didn't get a toy, you would cry. And then when you're old, you say, what was the problem? Today I would take all the toys from you. But that same body is in you. The child has become an adult, but the thoughts have changed. Right? So, long story cut short is that the body keeps evolving from childhood to old age to death to the next progression. It comes from somewhere and it goes towards it. What is changing is just the body. We are not going to cry when a child grows up and becomes old. That body is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
He's different. The child, what we used to put in our lap and play, is no, you can't put him in our lap when he's old. So we don't cry about that. We are crying because we can't see that body now. But is it not there? It has to be there because it came from somewhere and it's gone somewhere. Now, how do we feel it? If I can't see it, how do we feel it? The question you asked in the first instance: love, faith, divinity, grace. So when you amalgamate all these, you will feel the presence that it's nowhere, it's with you. It's somewhere there, wherever, but it's with you also because that connection of the entire universe it's all connected. So that connection will always be there, and that feeling of love, presence will come to you if you have these 3-4 instances.
If you're a seeker.
If you're a seeker, people who are not seekers will sometimes get in a dream. My mother spoke to me, said this, and it's true. I went through this instance the next day. So we call this, it's called paranormal by people who want to treat it like an exciting story. But the paranormal is true, right? And whether you're a seeker, whether you get grace, whether you get it for guidance, whether you see a good ghost, I don't know. Angels, Christianity talks about angels. What are they? They don't have a body, but you still may get a vision. Or you may still feel their blessings. So, I just feel that there are a lot of instances in your life. If you seek, you will get. If you don't seek also, maybe you will get. But you need to understand.
That's interesting.
You need to understand. And that is all. Now, I'll tie in my earlier story with you.
Please.
So my 12-year yearning for spirituality, Upanishad, Bhagavad-gita, life after death, right? These were all with the same philosophy. Life doesn't start at birth, doesn't end at death. I believed in this, and it also starts from earlier lives, but it also in this life, I have got a lot of knowledge in this area, right? I've read, I've intellectually deciphered, I've absorbed, and it's with me. So when this catastrophic incident happens, if I didn't have this knowledge, I would be broken down. Yeah, because I said it's catastrophic at standard 1 at the human level. But because I had this standard 12 knowledge, I was able to endure it with its pain, but emerge forward.
Correct.
Pain will remain, but in a different format. It will remain in a form of sometimes a memory, which sometimes gets a smile on your face also. Right? You miss the people bodily, but you still know that there is some presence and that it has made them and you evolve to somewhere else.
Mind is very powerful. You can create a situation where you can feel that your loved ones are right next to you and talking to you, and you can be tricked for a few seconds into that feeling, into experiencing their presence.
Yes. So have faith that it's true. Because have faith in those scriptures, which are the voice of the divine, that it is true. It is true.
Correct.
Right? I think every religion talks about some existence after death, in whatever format they would. We believe reincarnation, Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism. But every religion talks about some existence after death. So whatever that existence may be, that it's not the end. That's what I firmly believe.
You started something called Science Souls?
Soul science.
Soul Science.
So soul science, because we run schools called Birla Open Minds, almost 200 around the country, some franchise, some our own.
For marginalized children?
No,
coming
it's
from?
general. It's for, my idea was that, of course, it's general, it's for anybody. CBSE mostly, Central Board, even IGCSE, which is International Board. But my idea was that, earlier we used to have Gurukuls, right? And they used to learn everything.
Yes.
Besides the knowledge which is required for the world to be successful, for an engineer, science, for a businessman, it's chartered accountancy, whatever. At childhood, you also learned astronomy, you learned philosophy, you learned the scriptures. You learn the beyond what science can teach.
Yes.
So I said that nowadays, see, I went to a Catholic school, right? I went to Cathedral in John Convent, Bombay. But I did sing hymns. I sang the hymns in the morning for the assembly. I attended church before Christmas holidays, carols and all that. And it was lovely.
They
beautiful.
taught everything.
Beautiful. I love singing. I still remember words of those hymns. They were beautiful. So why we are not able to teach our scriptures to the children? And it's a universal, it's Sanatan Dharma.
Correct.
It's universal religion. Why can't our children chant the bhagavadgita shlokas and learn these things from childhood? And I'm saying incorporate all religions and all philosophies. So that's soul science. It's not a particular religion, it's a science of the soul, right? So that's what children should learn. So I said we have to develop our own subject, right? Because I'm not going to take a particular scripture because then it says it's a particular religion. Unfortunately, we live in the world where faith and divinity are categorized by religion, right? The choice of religion. But it should be choiceless. It's a universal religion. So soul science is something which teaches you about the soul irrespective of who you are.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And what kind of empowered youngsters will come out of such schools, I think of? Because today with Gen Zs and more of social media, the quality of social media and how we are being put through watching what we are not choosing, we are being put to watch constantly. We are in a loop which is designed by algorithms, right? You kind of are becoming, or this generation is going to go and become a little handicapped from their brain because everything is so structured and being put on the platter for them where they just have to see and consume. The intelligence of putting your decisiveness and thinking and being able to be better decision makers, it is going to be so subjective to what you're exposed to. So such knowledge can really build better mental abilities and thus mental health. I'm not getting into the numbers of what mental health crisis is happening in the youngsters, you know. I completely agree with you that Gurukul, it's maybe out of fashion, but personalities like you, when you should be actually endorsing it to the next level because people have to think of it as aspirational studies.
Yeah. So that's the idea of soul science. I told our teachers, philosophers, some help from spiritualists, give me a subject which I can teach to my children and you're graded on them. See what happens if you're not graded and it's not counted in a final percentile till the 8th standard. After we can't because it's a central board. Then children don't take it seriously. They say it's a free period. So I made it. That's what we used to do. So when there was not a graded subject, we used to it's now maza time. Let's chat and let's do what we feel like doing and let the teacher come and say whatever, let's be naughty. So because there's no grade.
Correct.
So who cares? So that's why we graded it. It's a part of the final percentile you get when you graduate from one class to another. So you take it seriously. It's like you have to study. You have to do an exam on it. So that's soul science. What we also did was have, like you're talking to me, soul science, right?
Yeah.
You're talking to me. A lot of times I'm on your chair and I have
Yeah.
somebody else on this chair and we talk about the soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you interpret the element of science? Like if you were to just, let's move on to 8th grade. Somebody 8th grader would have little more
Yeah.
mature mind.
Yeah. So
How the plug-in happens?
So the science is never contradictory to whatever we are talking, right? If you talk about quantum physics, okay, all the great physicists have in different words said the same thing what we are saying. We are talking, let's say it's the Big Bang, okay? The Big Bang theory how the creation was done. So what we are saying in our scriptures, there's one divinity. Let's give it a name of Shiva. Shiva has in him the manifestation, Shakti, of full creation of the entire universe. So what happens, if he's only Shiva, then he's just there. So he creates a temporary illusion that he segregates himself into Shiva and Shakti. That Shakti is also in Shiva. That's why we say that men and women and everything is all ultimately man in this life, but ultimately your soul is beyond.
Correct.
Is beyond male, female, whatever. So the Shakti comes, and with that there is a vibration because there is a separation. Now that vibration is which makes that whole go into creative mode, and it bangs, let's call it the Big Bang, and then the sound energy and the entire cosmos is created, right? So the Big Bang also, there's some tattva or element, right? You can't create a bang from nothing. And with what is that energy which makes that entire element burst into this entire cosmos, which is galaxies and galaxies of what exists. We are just one little fraction of it. Not even fraction, like a point. So where does quantum physics disagree with what we are saying? It's just put in a different way, right? It's actually confirming what we are saying, and we are confirming what they are saying, right? There's a God particle. You heard of that? It's come out in science. What is a God particle? It's this.
At least they have acknowledged that
Yes.
there is. They are still trying to decode consciousness because they are failing miserably to.
How can you decode consciousness, Poonam? Because today, even we, how much ever we are talking spirituality, have we got any? Can we prove it? We can't. It's
Exactly
for
my
us to
question.
prove to ourselves. Okay, this is an individual journey. There's nobody else who can prove this to you.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, how do you become one with the divine if you're just listening to people and then saying, we're believing, but let's follow and let's live our life and let's do this as a science? No. You have to feel it as an illumination, as a realization. That's your own journey.
As per you, when you think this state would manifest in someone's life, is it maturity of soul? Like, I'll give you an example. A lot of people are just like, I was just talking to a few of my friends, and they said, I was earning what is the marker for life? I was earning so much. I am looking at building my skills, and next 3 years, I will be earning so much. So my lifestyle is going to go. These are the brands I can afford today. Now, then my brands will become this standard discussion. I was asking, okay, then 25, what is the money that is going to make you like done? So, do you have that figure? No one has that figure. But what really hit me hard was that's it. But ultimately in life, you just have to better your lifestyle, no? The end of the life is how much better. I'm today flying economy, tomorrow I'm flying business, then I'm flying first, then I must have my own
Private jet.
private jet. Why should I be standing in a commercial queue?
Yeah.
How do you explain this?
So basically,
And actually, I was quiet. I said, you're absolutely right.
yeah.
But I don't think that way. So why I think differently?
So human beings are made with a bundle of desires. That's why we exist. If there's no desire, the world for us means nothing. Right?
The 5 senses, you mean?
The 5 senses are desires because
Correct.
they're identifying with the desires.
Yeah.
We identify with them. If I get this, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Then after I get that, I'll think of something else because the desire is endless. I'll be happier. Then after that, like you said, economy to club class to business class to first class to private jet. Private jet to what? We don't know.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who are coming with fast. There was a Concorde. Then there are so many things going into space. You know,
The Elons
it's
of the
all
world.
of course. So there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Means summary is that desires never end.
Yeah.
Right? I want to get a job, then I want to go higher, then I want to start my own independent business, and with independent business, I want to get success, I want to get fame, first I want to buy a house, then I want to buy a bigger house, then I want to buy one car, then I want to buy 5 cars. So at every stage, the desire is only making you, when you achieve it, desire more.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, nobody's saying, or no spirituality, or I would never, or anybody is not saying, any guru is not saying, leave your life.
Yeah.
All they are saying, continue aspiring to do whatever you're doing, continue having aspirations or let's say ambitions to achieve success, because a human birth is to keep striving, going higher and higher in every field, okay, which could be even professional field. But reduce your attachment to the desires and the manifestations of the desires when it comes to actuality. Because those desires, unless you recognize them, that they are endless, you will keep having dissatisfaction. Even when you achieve it, you will have dissatisfaction because there is another desire ready already to be achieved. So, how do you get over attachment to desires? That you have it, it's lovely. If you don't have it, that's also lovely. I love this chair, it's very comfortable. If I have it, great. But if I have to do your interview, if I can sit on the floor and this chair is not there, that's also great.
How does one develop this great mindset
By
that you're talking about?
by saying that everything we are wanting for material success is good, but it's not permanent, perpetual, and it's to some extent, again, a combination of those 5 elements and our attachment to our sense organs, which are constantly run by desires. Happiness and bliss will never depend on that, right? Desires will never give us the bliss. Bliss will only come from within.
When you become desireless.
Desireless, exactly. So then whatever happens is a blessing. Whatever comes is grace. I will enjoy it, but if I don't have it, that's also grace. That's also grace, right? Then you just say everything. You go to a movie. You are identifying with the movie. You may cry when it's sad. You may laugh when it's funny. You may get scared when it's a horror movie. But you know that you are still separate. You're watching a movie. There's a difference between seeing a real horror scene vis-a-vis a movie horror scene, right? Because you know you're going to go home and the movie's over and your life continues. So that's the kind of detachment from your desires you have to have. This is a movie. Let it go on. The mind, let it keep going on. But I am beyond this.
I'm the witness, you're saying.
I'm the witness. Who is that I? When I'm sleeping, I may dream. I have a dream which is as good as reality. We wake up in the dream also, getting scared,
in
crying.
Dream, we are real.
Yeah. So what is reality? The dream or the waking state? So let's say for all public perception or all common knowledge, it's a real waking state. But then who was there in the dream? It's that I. Now that I is separate from the dream, I is separate from my everything I'm experiencing. So that I is beyond and that I is separate, and all my desires and all the things I'm craving for and all whatever it is separate from bliss, which is me.
Satchidanand. Yeah. Actually, your spiritual journey started, as you said, by the virtue of reading philosophical books, and you were self-aware of the reading material and you wanted to, nobody pushed you. Amazing. What is that one or two spiritual, what are those practices? Like one practice that you want to tell the world that start this is beginner's practice, but you will see, little dopamine hitting every time you do it. Is it pranayam? Meditation people don't understand. Trust me.
I wish I could elaborate on this because there's lots to do. Okay, I'll tell you. I've been through many philosophies, many teachers, many preachers. I've followed meditation practice. I was a seeker. To some extent, a spiritual shopper.
Yeah.
It's a mundane word. I used to go everywhere.
Nice word.
Yeah. So I used to go. I love trekking in the Himalayas, like way beyond the temples and all. I just go into. So all our scriptures.
You do
I
it?
trek. So all our scriptures describe, let's say, a story like the Pandavas ascending to heaven, right? After the Mahabharata war. What was that path? Now we have just read about it, but historically there is a path which they went to. From it's ahead of Badrinath, and you walk
With
for 3
archaeological proof that this was the path.
I don't know about the archaeological proof, because do you know that a lot of the proofs were destroyed,
Yeah.
which was in the
Yeah.
university, Nalanda University, or which university
Yeah,
had all the
Bihar.
records, and then
Mughal period.
So
Yeah.
we don't know what the archaeological proofs are, but we believe it's history. So there's a path which goes where the Pandavas ascended to heaven. So for me, that's itself, what would I say? It's my spiritual part of my spiritual awakening when I go to these paths. Because what you feel there is no civilization, there are no people, there's no gaon, there's no pandit. That's also lovely. Those also are beautiful. But here you feel like you're just one. There's no connection. So,
What happens when you go to these high vibrational places? So there is a paradox. Let me try to explain that to you. One is I can sit here, my eyes are shut, and right now I see myself at Kamakhya Devi temple. I'm standing out. I am meaning to go there. Mataji has to just now give me a call, put a book, and
see,
go.
that's the thing. It'll come to you. You meaning to go there, you've said it, then go.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
keep
yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for another time. That's what I told you about that food coming in front of you, pick up and eat it.
Yeah.
And instances coming to your life where you want to do something and we keep postponing.
Yes.
Go.
Yes. So first time I visited, that's most Prachin Shaktipeeth. We were talking about Shaktipeeth also. I
Yeah.
was discussing with you. The first time I visited, will not be able to explain the experience. It's not because, but I have been to Shaktipeeths, and there you feel like you are not on earth. It's a different dimension. The feeling is only very different. I don't know how to explain that feeling.
No, I understand everything what you said. I
So-
agree with you.
So
I
and
myself
then-
been to Kamakhya Devi at least 4 times. Out of the world.
it's a different dimension.
Yeah, it's a different dimension.
Inside, when you're standing, especially Garbhagriha, you don't feel like
Yeah.
I felt very different than who I am.
Yeah,
It's very out of body experience also sometimes.
very true.
So this conversation is not for people who want to watch you for business or anything. This conversation is for people actually who understand what we are saying and would want to understand more from your experiences. So what has been your experience when you go to these different powerful places? क्या होता है मन में?
So,
What do you experience when you go? You and I know that when we are going, we are seeking.
So for me, these experiences, first of all, none of these experiences are congenial to the body because they're trekking on mountains. Some of the mountains are like this.
Yeah.
I'm not a mountaineer. So you're climbing like this on rocks and roots of grass and going onto a hill which is this level
So you
of
train
incline.
yourself for it?
No, I'm just into fitness. I just manage. It's actually
You
faith. I'll tell you honestly, it's faith because I want to go there. My mind will take me there. But there is some amount of peril. This is not. That also adds to something because when you're going through a perilous journey for seeking the divine, then your body attachment reduces because you say, "What's all this?" You sometimes imagine if my
Very powerful.
body was to drop now. Everybody has, no? If let's say you have 5 days to live, you'll say I have to do so many things, right? So sometimes when you go to these places, you say if the body was to drop now, I don't know, I don't care,
Yeah.
right? You get that feeling of total detachment.
Yeah.
Of course, you have your duties in family. You have to be careful.
Yeah, you should not be dead.
You should take
not drop
unnecessary
dead.
peril. You shouldn't have unnecessary peril. But as long as calculated,
Yeah.
some amount of perilousness is your strength, valor, and sense of adventure. Right? So when you go there, you get a sense of detachment. And then there's no habitation. The vibrations are so strong of those places that there are no people who have come there just for because everybody is going. Because there is no everybody. Very few people, genuine seekers or pilgrims or sages. So you feel those vibrations. So I go there to meditate. And when I meditate in a particular way there, let's say I'm sitting here, ultimately I have to come back home. So when you close your eyes and you think of that place, you think of that experience gets alive again. Right here. because I'm in my mind thinking, because you have to experience, you can't see it from a movie. I've experienced something there. So when I close my eyes sometimes, I may use it to charge me more, that experience. That's why I go to all these places, right? To get the experience in me, so that when I come back, my in me experiences keep progressing more and more, and I can get more and more closer to feeling that divinity.
What do you mean by charge me more?
So it invigorates you. It again tells you that life as we perceive, and our problems and our challenges day to day are there. We must live with it. But at the same time, there is something so beautiful beyond.
Beyond.
We do our deeds, but there is no need to feel that the deeds are the beginning and the end, or the sadness and the happiness the beginning and end of all, because there is a beyond, which is just only bliss. So it charges you. And then when you feel that meditation here, so meditation again is a process. Now you talked about meditation.
I want to talk about that. How would you teach somebody to start?
So I'll just, so basically I went to these trips. I used to there also talk to sadhus, mahatmas, tell them how do you do dhyan, how do you do meditation. So I've been through all the schools of meditation. I've done everything.
Like you have learned meditation from all the
I've
schools.
learned meditation from many people. I've had initiation of mantra jap. I've done all that. And everything is useful, because everything gets me to a level which is beyond. But what I've come into today is Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji's Art of Living, because the benefit of what he's put into a package is not, it's okay for a first level, but it's also okay for a PhD, right? Because it's your internal self, which is wherever I am, which will take you to a higher level, wherever you are. And it's very easy to practice in the modern world, in our modern lifestyle. We all live a contemporary modern lifestyle.
Correct.
So though I had practiced all those, Kundalini to TM, transcendental meditation, to lots I have done, I've ultimately settled down to this. Okay. The other thing is that it's Art of Living has something called Sudarshan Kriya, which is like a very intense pranayam. And then they have Sahaj Samadhi, which is meditation. Then they have some yogasanas, then they have something ahead of that Sahaj Samadhi, which is all a process. If you do the entire process, it may take you about less than 1 hour, and everything is done.
Okay.
You don't have 1 hour, you can break it up to 20 minutes and whatever. Or do only 20 minutes every day, that's also fine. But it takes you ahead, right? Now meditation, a lot of people feel you have to focus, which I've done all that, focus somewhere, focus here, focus there, whatever.
रुकावट के लिए खेद है. अगर आपको हमारा कंटेंट और कॉन्वर्सेशंस अच्छे लग रहे हैं तो प्लीज लाइक, सब्सक्राइब एंड शेयर करिए अपने फैमिली मेंबर्स और फ्रेंड्स के साथ. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वाचिंग.
It's not focus, it is unfocus. Meditation is where there's no thought, there's no attachment to the thoughts. So thoughts will come. Let's say you're meditating, your thoughts will come. Okay, they're not going to go. They'll start decreasing the more you meditate, but they'll still come.
Help me understand what is meditation.
So meditation is be thoughtless.
So you have to close your eyes, shut your eyes, and then sit.
There are a lot of ways you can meditate even with open eyes, but we have not reached to that level. So there's a tratak. You look at a flame, and you keep focusing on the tip of the flame, and it's supposed to be very energizing. And ultimately, that flame is so powerful, and that focus is on such a small point that there are no other thoughts which will enter your mind.
Correct.
Right?
So it tricks the brain.
It tricks the brain. So thoughtlessness, what is our mind? What are we doing every day? We are constantly thinking. When we dream also, our mind is working. There's some mind going on with the story. Everything, the mind is motivated by the senses are by desires, and it's a continuous chain. So meditation just puts you in a state where all this is erased. You stop identifying with the thoughts. Thoughts may come, but you don't get engaged with them. This after I do, I have to go out. If I go out, I have to wear this. Then if I wear this, people say I'm looking good. Oh no, I'll meet these people. Will I get nervous, anxious? Then you're engaging. I have to go out. I'm going. Yeah, fine. Next thought will come. The gap between two thoughts is meditation. Before the next thought, going out was one thought. Doing something for your family the next day is another thought. The gap between the two is meditation. Thoughtlessness. That thoughtlessness transforms into blissfulness, because when the thought cease, are those brief moments of bliss.
That charges one up.
That charges one up from wherever you are. So if you're on level 1, it'll take you to level 2. If you're in graduation, it'll take you to PhD, the meditation.
Then
Depends
it
on
is
your evolution journey.
self-exploration.
Huh?
Then it is self-exploration.
Self-exploration. So pranayam basically controls the mind because you're continuously engaging ourselves in the outer world. It helps us get the mind to zero level, or let's say level, some constant level. Then the meditation becomes deeper.
Yeah.
The state of thoughtlessness or lesser thoughts is easier. So you start with pranayam, yoga, pranayam, whatever you want to do, then you go into meditation. When you come out of meditation, so for me, it's quite amazing. I have this is a strange connection, but when I do a good workout, right, that it's scientifically proved, you release endorphins and dopamine increase, and you feel happy.
Yeah.
So you're going stressed to the gym. You got some issues, whatever. When you come out of the gym, the stress is still there, but you're like, okay, I'm still happy. I'm still good.
Yeah.
That same effect multiplied to the power of many happens with meditation. That dopamine and that lovely state, right? It's the same thing, which anybody who's working out well will understand. But it's much, much more. So meditation is not a state, again, to be put too much into words. It's an experience. If I talk too much about it, or you hear too much about it, you're conditioning yourself. The idea of meditation is uncondition yourself. Don't go into any structures, beyond structures. And what may suit you may not suit me. Everybody has a different personality. What suits me, I have told you. And it could suit you as well. So a lot of gurus nowadays do something, they preach a lot, what is universally suitable. Not universally, majoritatively suitable. So there are all types of students, or all types of yearners or seekers. As I said, you gave a lovely example of standard 1 and 12.
Yeah.
So there are all types of people, but they can all gain.
Correct.
It's your level, what you understand.
There's nothing you're losing if anything that you're embarking on.
Yeah.
Got it. Can spiritual books help people to start the journey? How does one start the journey?
Amazing. So there's a best-selling novel called Autobiography of a Yogi.
You read?
I've read it.
Please
years
explain
back.
your experience.
So it's for a person to start off. It's a brilliant book because you just realize that the beyond is so beautiful and it is real because it's a true story. I read it way later than my Upanishads and Gita, so that knowledge is already with me, but I just loved it. Paramahansa Yogananda ji, then I read his Bhagavad-gita he had written after that.
Yeah.
And the whole lineage of Kriya Yoga, that's in that book. I've learned that also, Kriya. I've done the Kriya Yoga also. There's lovely meditation, Kundalini meditation and all.
You learnt it where, if I may ask?
I had a guru from Bihar School of Yoga. He was a PhD. He came and taught me several Kriyas.
For Kriyas, though, you need initiation, I believe.
No, you need mantra jap ka initiation, which also I got from Bihar School, Swami Niranjan ji. He gave me a mantra jap initiation, which is Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, whoever is your Ishtadev, or the dev of your heart. These are also, again, Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna are not different. They are ultimately the same, right? It's just your mood.
Yeah.
So my mood now, I'm feeling hot, I want the air condition.
Correct.
Tomorrow in the winter, I go to Delhi, I'll feel cold, so I want the heater. It's my mood. It's not that the heater comes from a different source, which is electricity. From the air conditioner, which also comes from the same source, which is electricity.
Correct.
That's why Krishna and Shiva and every other divinity which is talked about in various scriptures and religions is all the same.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, it all ends the same source. So, but your mood is something. So that is why they give you initiation according to your mood.
Okay.
Right? So I have got initiation mantra jap, which I do as a rule. You have to do it once at least every night. But what I have deciphered, so mantra jap is also very powerful. Everything is sound. The whole world and cosmos is sound. So when you say wow, you feel good. You get a smile. Suppose I say wow, and I say oh, what is this? So you'll feel not good. So what is affecting you is my words.
Correct.
So every sound has a vibration. So the ancient seers or the rishis or the divine souls put these vibrations into a mantra.
Correct.
That mantra is having a particular effect on your body, your mind, your thoughts. So I'm saying Om Namah Shivaya. It's a mantra which is charged with potency to reverberate across my body and my internal system to take me higher, to make me more evolved, to make me more blissful, to make me calmer. So when you take mantra initiation, that energy comes to you from the right channel. Otherwise, we can take it from anyone,
Correct.
right? It has to come charged from ancient rishis, right? So these mantras which genuine gurus hand down to you, if you're lucky enough to have that,
Yeah.
then they are charged from, let's say, Adi Shankaracharya ji, who was like an incarnation of Lord Shiva.
And then it is
It's
descending.
handed down, that mantra, and it's a secret mantra. It's whispered in your ear, and it stays in you, and you're not supposed to speak it out because, again, a sound energy which keeps circulating within your body. So now what I do, I say it, but there are a lot of times when we are just like, let's say I'm in a movie, my mind is in the movie, but that sound keeps going on. So I wear this, or I wear this. It's not a holy thing, or it's not a prayer thing, but it's just an idea of chanting the mantras. So it keeps you connected. A lot of times you can connect with the breath, which is the highest form. Inhalation Om Namah Shivaya, exhalation Om Namah Shivaya. Right?
Correct.
So many mantras. I'm just giving one example. So these things can passively help you still get that sound vibration, which keeps you blissful, right? So mantras are good.
So you may be around so many people, maybe in the crowd, but
Yeah.
then
You
feel elevated because
you can keep, you may be saying it, you may be saying it with your breath, you may be saying it for 1-2 minutes, you're talking for 10 minutes.
Correct.
We are not doing it as a prayer. Prayer has to be done systemized. Sit properly, worship, and say it. It's not a prayer. It's a subtle manifestation of sound energy. So I keep doing it. So mantra has its own place. Art of living doesn't give you mantra initiation, so I've taken it from elsewhere. Art of living is meditation, pranayam, and sadhana. Right? So I amalgamate these in my life, and I do all.
And of course you work out 5 days a week.
That's a religion also.
Wow.
As I told you, it's again like it's an endorphin
Body
release,
should be ready.
dopamine release, and also sense of discipline.
Yes.
Ultimately, we get disciplined in one area. We feel we can do a lot of things where we are undisciplined also.
But sorry to say this, last 20-25 years, I've seen you copy paste. Like, wow, what maintenance.
No, so that's a little.
So that is discipline,
a
right?
little. I must accept it's a little. What do you call it? Vanity. Yeah. So I can't. Which is earthly. Again, we all have earthly things. Let's not judge it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking all these lovely spiritual things. That doesn't mean I don't have an earthly side, which is like all of us. So we desire normal things. We like normal things. We get fascinated by it. We feel unhappy without it. So vanity is earthly. I am conscious of my appearance. I love the idea of looking after your appearance. And I don't like anything really deteriorating. That, okay, you were like this. So that keeps me going on.
Let's talk about that. That is important.
So that keeps me going on. So
what do you mean by deterioration? Because see, the body, the moment we are born, and then it is on the path of deterioration. Now, the sadhanas and what we are doing in the gym, I don't want to say, please. You understood my question.
No.
How are you keeping the deterioration in your control?
Nothing is in your control, to be honest.
Yeah.
You can only try. But yes, you are succeeding fighting over something which is tangible, and you can succeed. So by exercising regularly, keeping your hormones correct, by exercise, by pranayam, by meditation, you are still on having some amount of victory towards the change and gradual, as we say, the process of deterioration, aging, whatever you call it. So it's all relative. I mean, today, yes, we are humans. But as long as we can, we have to do our best. And you can succeed to a great extent.
That is interesting.
Yeah, to doing your best by watching all these things. Right? Some things like thoughts, we can't control everything. Because they say, again, stress hormone, cortisol, stress is the worst thing for body and for the anti-aging kind of path. You have stress, cortisol already slowing down everything in your body. But how do you? Can't stay away from stress. We all get stressed, and I get stressed. But it's just that it has to be relatively reduced over time.
At least we don't have the stress of tiger coming and eating us, what it used to happen. Yeah. So the stresses are very different.
Stresses are usually our own mental creations.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we can't help it because we are also humans. How much ever we try, they say nirvana, moksha comes sometime in this life, sometime it takes thousands of lives.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So human side of us is only we have to see that we are progressing. It cannot be like a magic pill, only now we are there.
Yes, absolutely. That is why I was sitting with somebody and they said that actually I was sitting with the Guruji only and he said, don't break the flow. What is your view on that? He said, as you started, we started the conversation with circumstances. So I am a witness. I have circumstances coming and happening with very least control of mine. But I know, but my conflict happens that circumstances are also something that I created, or no, I get stuck there myself. But then, even if I were to leave this thought and say, okay, circumstances are coming, I'm dealing. If I'm dealing with too many, then I am feeling very, depleted in my energy. And that is where you have intervention of spirituality, where you do your sadhana, your japa, so that you go to these high vibrational places and come back fueled up, right? And then you go back in the world and start dealing with things. So ये मैंने जो चक्कर बताया, right चक्कर है, यही चक्कर है.
चक्कर है.
Now, the question that I have for you here is, this Guruji said that you are a part of the flow.
Yes.
So don't try to be too decisive, to use your intelligence, which is governed by your ego, to go and say, I will break the flow, I will change my destiny. It is very opposite to what we say in business world. Business world mein you are taking hard decisions, data backed decisions to change the destiny of the world. You want to throw some light on this?
So you have to put an effort to change the destiny of your business or your ambition, goals. That's all good. What Guruji is trying to say that there are a lot of variables which are beyond your control.
Yeah.
Right? You can only put in your own effort. You can only plan better. You can only strive harder. You can only work more in a focused way. But you can't change everything. Today there's a war. What can we do about it? Oil prices will rise. What can we do about it? That's beyond our control. However efficiently you're running your business, if it depends on oil, you're going to have a problem. So when everything is not in your control, you keep striving, but ultimately accept that it's part of a grand plan and some things are beyond your control. And that's when we come back to my old story of surrender. That's your wish. If there's a problem, you'll sort it out. You tell me how to sort it out. You tell me how to move forward.
So what I'm understanding from you is that you must know the timing. How much can you do? And then you must understand that timing to say, I will not break the flow. I will accept certain things happening in my life, and certain things I will surrender when I see it is beyond my human control.
So I would, when you're saying this, I'm thinking, I'm not really got any hard and fast answers for this. I think this is day-to-day progression, right? So I'm trying for something today, I can't find an answer, and this too many things. Then I surrender. Okay, let's just use it like a theorem.
Correct.
So tomorrow morning, that decision has come to me through you, and I've got an inspiration that is solved. But I have another thing after that next step.
Correct.
Then again I surrender. Again I surrender if I can. Then that will come to me in some different way, right? So there's no time and right time to surrender, and we shouldn't. The idea is we have to keep trying. And then when we feel that the trial is reaching more of a confusion, and we have a witness, you'll realize when the striving is becoming to stress and actually limiting your creativity or your problem solving capability.
Yes.
Then you let surrender. Then again pick up the threads from where you left it yesterday, and again start.
Correct.
So it's every day, every moment, every period of time cannot be categorized as this is effort and this is surrender, this is effort, this is surrender. But being a witness, you yourself will realize it, that the awareness will be there, the right time you'll strive and the right time you'll surrender. Now, that sharpness comes with our practices. So, Guruji also says there are 3 do's for every day. Okay? Seva, sadhana, satsang. Right? So how we need to eat every day to feel strong, right? We need these three in our day-to-day lives. Even if we are very spiritual and we are elevated and we progress a lot, we still need to do this. Sadhana, whatever you do, meditation, jap, kriya, whatever. Seva is where you help somebody. So it's not only that I'm going and giving, should do that, giving some poor some help, but I may help a friend who's in need, who's stressed. I just may be there for that friend.
Correct.
For a shoulder to cry on. That's also seva. And satsang is what we are doing. It doesn't mean I have to go and sit at some auditorium and listen to some pravachan.
I was going to say that.
What we are talking is satsang, because we are talking amongst ourselves about the divinity.
Correct.
So that's what you need to do. Or if you don't have anyone to talk to, read a philosophical book, or a motivational book, or a religious book, or a spiritual book. That's satsang.
Trying to have some practices to connect.
Yeah. So when you have these practices, that awareness comes of ambition, trial, effort, and surrender.
I agree. Well, how beautifully you explained. What is your view on the concept of free will?
So I'll give that old example again, at the cost of being repetitive. That food has come in front of me, which is my destiny. It's been placed in front of me. My free will is how to eat it. Okay, so some health people say don't have water while drinking the food. I don't know whatever's right and wrong. I'm just telling you an example. But my free will is I'll have one bite and then I'll have water, and then I'll have one bite and I'll chew quick, and I'll keep talking, and I'll keep criticizing somebody. I'll keep get angry at the staff that you didn't get this correctly. So has my food digested correctly? No, I'll have indigestion. The nutrition will not go to the extent it has. Against that, a food comes to me, I say a prayer. Hinduism, every year you say, even in all faiths, you say gratitude, right? So you're grateful for giving me this food. That divine energy which is there is in this food. I pray to it and let it produce divinity in me. Let it manifest into divinity in me. Whatever, you can say many mantras or sayings or statements. So you do that, then you pick up your food. Let's say you maintain absolute silence. I will not talk to you anymore. Being idealistic, but let's say that. So each piece I take, I chew it, I experience the taste. I chew it many times. They say chew 36 times for it to go down properly. Right or wrong, I do it. And every part of the food I'm feeling, praying, digesting, and then all the nutrition is coming to me. So that was my free will. Whether I chew, shout, scream, talk, yelp, whatever, or eat half, water down, or whether I do the second. Right. On that free will depend it's a very small cause and reaction example, will depend my health in a long period of time, or let's say the next day.
How I will sleep, how I will wake up.
How you'll wake up, what will be your mood.
Mood.
Indigestion will happen, your mood will become bad, you won't be able to exercise. Contrary to, you'll have enough energy from a well-eaten meal, and you'll be able to exercise. So this is the immediate reaction to your free will and karma. So there is a free will in everything. Circumstances may be destiny, but there's also a present free will. Then when does the cycle end?
Wonderful.
The cycle ends because in the free will you'll make another karma and again you'll keep doing it. So that's when they say that when you say that I am not the doer. That let's say in that example, the food is given by you, the food is your blessing, you will come inside me and you will only give me that divinity inside me. I am nothing, I am doing nothing, you are doing everything. You means the divine entity. So that individuality, ego, selfishness or self-centeredness vanishes, and then there's no karma because you do nothing. Everything is his doing.
That is how you operate?
That's how you
started.
That's how you have to keep starting. You have to keep reminding. And it's very difficult to operate like this all the time because we'll all be illuminated with that halo around our heads.
Yeah, totally.
But you have to keep ascending. You have to keep doing this more and more. It's again that same surrender, entwined.
I think you cracked a beautiful formula for people.
Yeah, not easy to follow for me also, but I try.
Yeah,
I try.
That is what we can do.
Yeah, we can only try.
We can only try. Yashji, I would want to, this is endless conversation, and you rightly said, this is like a beautiful satsang going on, because
Yeah.
it's all about deliberating on views that can be exchanged to understand the deeper meaning of life.
Yes, of course.
But because I have to end this conversation, I think this is a beautiful question that I have received, and I will read it out verbatim to you. In Vedanta, they say everything is temporary: wealth, power, or status. When someone who already has wealth realizes this truth, does it create freedom or emptiness?
What's the second word? Or what?
Does it create freedom or emptiness?
Freedom, for sure. Freedom.
Freedom?
Yes. So basically, wealth also is it in perpetuity? Are you going to take it up with you? Is it there ever? If it's there today, you have the insurance, is it going to be there ever? No. So it's freedom. Because it's like telling, now we're going to again a conversation, but I'll still say it. Like, let's say an actor is at his peak,
Yeah.
right? And as we know, nobody can remain there forever.
Correct.
So if he knows that it's temporary and accepts it, when the so-called decline comes, you like embrace it. So it makes you free. Otherwise, you'll suffer and you'll hate it. That will make you more bound. So knowing that anything is temporary, which is a reality, is freedom, if you really believe it.
If you have understood the concept
Yes,
of
yeah.
what it means. So we go around the internet to find out what seekers or viewers are looking forward to. And we did our own broadcasting and research to figure out that from spirit. So, you know what? A lot of people want to only ask you questions about fitness. That is one.
I love it as much as everything else.
That was
so I
a
love
hot topic. And I said,
Yeah.
this conversation is about deeper meanings of life. And I'm wanting to decode different definitions of spirituality with you. So I am not taking those questions. Sorry, guys, we will do it again. But these questions are related to more of the conversation that we are doing right now. So, kind of a rapid fire, you can have brief answer or elaborate. Please feel
The most
free.
difficult for me to be brief, but I'll try and keep it as brief as I can.
So, do billionaires feel closer to God or further away from him or her?
It's all individual. There's no hard and fast rule. It's again the level of independence you have of an attachment to your status.
And what is your understanding of your statuses?
Yes, it's again your first question. It's temporary and it's there, it's grace, and it may not be there. That's also grace.
Wow. This is my biggest learning talking to you today. है तो grace, नहीं है तो भी
No, be
grace.
grace.
Wow. Is suffering necessary for spiritual awakening?
It's a catalyst sometimes if you're programmed that way, but not necessary at all.
Yeah. What is the biggest misunderstanding people have about spirituality?
That it makes you lead a strict, constricted, ritualistic life of do's and don'ts. Actually, it's freedom from everything.
Can someone be deeply spiritual and still be ambitious?
100%. They both are entwined with each other and both are congenial. They are not opposites at all.
Does meditation really change the brain, or is it just a belief?
It actually physically changes the brain, as modern scientists have proved. Belief also is thoughts. Thoughts also affect the brain. So again, both.
What spiritual book changed your life the most? You have read many.
So the earliest was the Bhagavadgita, which is an amazing book of life. Then another one much later was an autobiography of a yogi.
If someone wants to begin a spiritual journey today, where should they start?
Accepting that the reality is beyond what we perceive and what we think. What is that reality? Question yourself. What am I? Who are you? What are you doing here? What do you have to do here, and what is the end? What is the beginning? If you ask these couple of questions, then you're already becoming a seeker.
What is one spiritual truth you realized too late in life?
That life itself is temporary, and we don't know when it may end. It could be tomorrow, it could be 10 years later. But if it's temporary, then why are we frustrated on a lot of the mundane things which we should just see and pass and emerge.
Wow. Do you believe destiny controls our life or our choices? Or prarabdha in spiritual language?
Destiny lays a foundation. Your deeds control your life, and your karmas, which are deeds for today, will control your future.
If you could give one spiritual practice to the youth of India, what would it be?
Every day do sadhana, seva, and satsang. Some spiritual practice could be anything you choose. Something good you do for somebody else, which is selfless. And satsang is talk something meaningful to people's lives, or the intellect or their souls.
Wow. Yashji, thank you so much for such kind, I would say kindness and kind time and such generosity to explain everything so beautifully and with all your heart. I think, as you said, that this is the biggest seva, because whoever is going to watch, and if they start embarking on their journey of collecting spiritual wealth, I think we have done the job.
So I think thank you to you. See, ultimately what I speak is dependent on the questions you ask. Since your questions are so deep and soul searching, so it actually made me think. And then again, we thank the divinity for gracing us, so that you could ask the good questions and I could give some answers, good, bad, ugly. And if I feel even one person gets motivated by our conversation, I think we have done good seva.
Good seva, absolutely. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Lovely
you so
seeing
much.
you. Thank
Lovely
you.
meeting
My
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the PVT Show podcast. I am your host, Poonam Vijay Thakkar. On this show, I bring to you conversations with leading authors and top leaders who energize the mind, challenge the norms, and awaken a purpose. It's all about conscious growth with one powerful book and one powerful story at a time.